Monday morning on the Sunrise Show, something that cannot be explained by science. The way that weekend went away like that.
Just like that.
I felt like I was standing next to all of you on Friday just a minute ago.
Very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Weekend is over. Work week is underway. And we're talking about a work week forecast, Rod Hill.
Pretty good light show last night for some of you. Pretty good sound show that went with that. Here's a look at Doppler radar right now. We're talking about storms overnight that migrated south to north up the Cascades. You see the last 3 hours here, including Sandy, Mount Hood, over parts of the gorge. We had heavy rain just outside of Troutdale. That's now mainly north of the Columbia River. There's a little straggler that's popped just outside of the Dalles. Boom, 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 right there. And then we have storms now east of Baker City and some storms out over the Blue Mountains. Here's a look at the radar out east. This is still a lot of lightning activity for a lot of you folks. You can see the clouds from the storms looking off to the northeast from the Wells Fargo Tower camera. If you go out to the reserve, though, it's just hazy sunshine looking out to the west. Portland's temperature currently 61. We'll call it partly cloudy, mostly sunny skies coming today. Very similar numbers to yesterday, 76 at noon up to about 90 for high. I do believe there's at least a chance that we'll see thunderstorm development near the Cascades again overnight tonight or later today into tonight. So we'll keep an eye on that. Here's Chris.
Rod, I want to take you to northwest Portland. We're getting word of some sort of a structure fire, northwest 21st and Johnson. Photojournalist Nick Bieber on the scene. We hope to give you a picture here soon. We're getting more details on this as well. So hopefully in the next few minutes, I'll be able to get that for you. As far as the freeway drive is concerned, here's I-5 down near the 217 interchange. This is the southbound commute. That looks like that's rolling along just fine. The Sylvan Hill, Highway 26, that looks good. And a quick check of the drive through North Portland. There's your southbound I-5 commute near the Expo Center. Guys, so far the freeways are in good shape.
All right, Chris, thank you. In an update this morning, Portland police say its continued street racing takeover response overnight resulted in 41 traffic stops, 23 citations, 7 tows, and 4 arrests. And they say those numbers could go up as officers finish their reports.
Yeah, we don't need those final reports, though, to know it was a busy weekend for sure for local officers. KGW's Thomas Schultz joins us now live from Southeast Portland, where some of those takeover attempts took place. Good morning, Thomas.
Hey, good morning, guys. And yeah, 3 times those takeovers, street racers tried to take over the streets here, and you can see the aftermath. I mean, there's tire tracks everywhere, pieces of rubber in the street here near the intersection of Southeast 2nd and Southeast Morrison. Now here, for these 3 attempts by street racers, it took PPB less than an hour to break up those crowds, so the group instead just moved further into Southeast Portland before being forced to move again by police. Eventually, law enforcement says racers moved all the way out to Troutdale and Damascus, where they continued to prevent those takeovers. And Portland police says over the weekend there were well over 100 traffic stops, dozens of arrests, citations, and tows as part of that mission of deterrence. And when arrests were made, some guns were found too. Oftentimes over the weekend, racers spun donuts, leaving trail marks around Portland streets and drove well over the speed limit, leaving some neighbors cautious to step outside.
I was asleep and my son came and woke me up, and when I came out and I looked outside, everybody was just all on the street. They parked all of them behind my son's car, parked in the driveway. It felt like I was in Vegas.
Felt like she was in Vegas, and you can see once again, I mean, tire marks just all across the streets over here in Southeast by Southeast 2nd and Morrison. And unfortunately, I mean, some of these takeover attempts were deadly. On Friday night, police say 2 people died when police tried to stop a car that was part of these racing incidents. That car instead crashing into a power pole, leading 2 people in that vehicle to be dead. Guys.
Thomas, thank you. And our fire coverage this morning, the entire town of Antelope and Wasco County has been ordered to evacuate after a grass fire quickly grew to about 400 acres. The city of Antelope is about an hour and a half south of the Dalles. The fire has caused reported power outages in several towns in the area. And according to the Wasco County Sheriff's Office, the fire that started early Sunday morning was caused by lightning. The Shenango Schoolhouse is available as temporary shelter. In the meantime, level 3 go now evacuations have also been ordered for part of Jefferson County due to a new fire reported yesterday. We have little details to report on this at this point, only that the evacuation orders have been ordered for Zone 10 Northwest, which is west of Madras.
Firefighters were able to quickly put out a brush fire near Hillsborough yesterday in rural Washington County. It happened in the afternoon near Southwest Laurel Road and Southwest McCormick Hill. Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue says that hot weather and dry grass allowed this fire to move fast. A neighbor told us that she and her kids watched as the fire grew to about 30 acres. And she also told us that her husband, a longtime volunteer firefighter, could not just sit back and watch.
He went back to our house, got the bulldozer, drove it over, and cut a line that thankfully stopped the fire going any further. So very proud. Yeah, very proud of him.
She says the fire burned about 3 hazelnut trees on their property. Officials say this fire was most likely sparked by farming equipment.
At 8 o'clock this morning, Portland Parks and Recreation will begin cutting down this elm tree on Southwest 10th and Jefferson near the Portland Art Museum. This elm tree has been standing in that spot since 1870. But it was badly damaged during January's ice storm, making it a safety hazard. Per the city's tree code, a replacement tree is required to be planted in 2025 to mitigate the loss of the elm. Parks and Rec expect temporary traffic and pedestrian congestion in that area.